don't lie on the situation. Like, if you want him to put him in a title fight for his third time, obviously there's a reason for it. But don't sit there and make up lies like, oh man, he deserves it, he earned it, he's number 2, blah, blah, blah. He's 2-2 at his last 4 fights. I'm the rightful owner of that spot, so.
During every press conference, pre-fight or post, some NBC reporter will question Dana White about a potential title shot for a fighter on a winning streak.
Dana White told BT Sport, I believe in an interview that came out today, that you're next for the title shot if you give a spectacular performance on Saturday.
About time, you know. That was my 9th win in a row, so.
And the UFC boss will once again repeat, this is the UFC. You keep winning, and you will get what you want.
You continue to fight and you continue to win. When he goes into the Costa fight, he'll be 19-0. Either one of those guys are going to be big stars.
Is all that matters.
You stay active, you're a professional fighter, that's what you do. And if you can fight often, you should.
But not really. In the very same press conference, another reporter will bring the name of one of the blessed and dry, will ramble for the next several minutes.
It's not like I'm a big, Colby, you know. Colby Covington deserves this shot at the title.
To declare him the next #1 contender, the uncrowned champion, maybe even the best guy Dana ever worked with. For that guy, win-loss activity, inactivity doesn't matter, because as long as he stays in the good graces of now CEO Dana White, he's good. And the boss himself will step up and protect him from any and all criticisms.
It's crazy to say this, but as big and as famous as Conor is, and all the things that go on, I don't think Conor gets the respect he deserves.
Some really do deserve the added protection, whether they get asses in seats or actual fighting skill. Some guys, I don't know why. Regardless, here are the chosen ones. And let's begin with that one guy. I don't know about this dude. Paddy will never be a UFC champion. In fact, I don't see him even cracking the top 10 at 155 or 145. And he doesn't really draw people into massive arenas. He is a decently popular name with a good amount of charisma, like a bunch of other guys on the roster, but he is undoubtedly more special than the rest of them and a firm favorite of the corporation.
Paddy Pimblett hits back at critics who believe he has benefited from a UFC bias. Paddy says, I am just a fighter on his roster, referring to Dana.
Why, if I had to guess?
I think that's an issue that you and Ariel could ever squash, or is that just going to be behind you?
I don't give a I've had that bottled up for over a year where he talks.
For a little backstory, Dana White hates Ariel Hawaii, dating back to UFC 199 and 2016.
I don't give a shit what Ariel Helwani thinks.
Fair enough.
Who the fuck is Ariel Helwani to question anything that we do?
Not too long ago, Paddy had been on his podcast and seeing the opportunity to build a good rapport with his boss. Paddy trashed the MMA journalist.
I hate all these journalists, especially the ones what earn off us, like Ariel Helwani in particular. You're doing it for exposure. No, you're not. You're doing it to put money in your pocket, Ariel, you little rodent.
And Dana could not stop smiling.
I just sat back and let that go. I didn't want to interrupt. He's a massive sack of is what he is.
Exactly. Obviously, Ariel responded to be continued in most of the MMA world, turned on pin lid, but he wasn't too bothered about the backlash. He had lost the support of MMA fans, but he gained a supporter in Dana White. A UFC 282 Paddy fought Jared Gordon, a decent but not amazing lightweight, and at the end, we get one of the most controversial. Actually, he's crushed it. There was no controversy as Gordon was the clear victor, but the judges awarded the fight to Paddy.
A unanimous decision, Paddy!
Fans found another reason to hate Piglet, but when Dana was asked what he thought went well,
Gordon had a horrible game plan going into that third round. You think you won the first 2 rounds with the judges? I mean, how do you know that? Why go in there and throw away the third round?
how does that make any sense? Finally, as the cherry on top of the shortcake patty, will fight a weather Tony Ferguson at UFC 296. Fighting crippled veterans instead of actual irrelevant fighters is another part that comes along with being boys with Dana. But as I end the segment, still asking the same question, why? Patty simply doesn't deserve the extra help. but here's someone who sort of does. I think.
Colby Covington made some headlines. He says no way he's letting you wrap the belt around him. If you do, he's gonna smack you in the head with it.
He's a big mouth fucking idiot.
Colby was once a member of the Curse Clan, and Dana White, as you saw, could not stand the guy. At one point, it even looked like Colby would be cut as the guy was a headache to deal with. But then he fought the champion Kumar Guzman, a UFC 245, in one of the most entertaining title fights of the year. On that night, Ko, despite losing the fight, proved that he could walk the walk and that he was one of the best welterweights on the planet.
I know you're not a fan of that guy or haven't necessarily gotten along with him eye to eye, but did he show the world something tonight?
100%. Don't let all the bullshit and stupid talk overshadow the fact that this kid is tough, talented.
You can cut him after a performance like that, but he was definitely not a part of the Millionaires Club. Covington got a title shot right after beating Tyron Woodley, and it was another gutsy performance against Usman, who had established himself as a dominant champ. Now every Code fight felt like a big deal, and when he headlined UFC 272 against George Masvidal, Dana White convinced Code Covington was now a Dana White guy.
Feel at this point, do you consider him one of the biggest stars in the company?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's after a while, no matter how much you hate him, you at least got to respect him. I mean, the guy keeps winning fights, and he's a tough dude.
After UFC 272, Colby was not seen or heard from again after close to a year of radio silence. Colby showed up as the backup fighter for UFC 286, and as soon as he made weight, the welterweight division was shut down. I'll catch y'all next one. Peace out.